We'll start with the prayers. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are doing Taittriya Upanishad Bhashyam, Chapter 2, first section, first mantra. The chapter 2 is called Brahmananda Valli, a very useful chapter which explains the Pancha Koshas, and with reference to the Pancha Koshas, who am I? So the whole chapter is about discussing the nature of our self. When I say our self, it means Atma. It means something which I don't know today. We all know the Pancha Koshas very well. Pancha Koshas means Anatma. But for Anatma, that means for the body, for the mind, for the world which we see and experience, there has to be a adhishtanam. There has to be a substratum. This is the philosophy behind Advaita Vedanta. We are trying to study philosophically who am I. Physically, we can know the body is existing, the mind is experienced, the world is experienced. But this is not the end, this is not the ultimate nature of the world. That is what the Upanishad is trying to explain to me. Before I proceed further, I want to clarify one small thing which Shankaracharya focuses in Mandukya Upanishad, and that is the description of Satchid Ananda Swarupa. Whatever we are learning here, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, is my own description. Right now, I think I am the body, I am the mind, but this needs a correction. What Upanishad does is it corrects the mistake which I have in my intellect. This Shankaracharya focuses and brings out very beautifully in Mandukya Bhashyam. In each Bhashyam, Shankaracharya focuses on one aspect of the analysis of the Mahavakyam. One aspect he focuses. In this particular chapter of Taittriya Upanishad, he focuses on what is Satyam Jnanam Anantam with reference to the 5 koshas. In Mandukya Upanishad, he focuses on Turiya Atma with reference to the 3 states there. The 3 states which we experience is waking, dream, and sleep. What he says there is the same waker which we are all today, the same waker has to realize he is Turiyam Atma. The same dreamer is nothing but it is Turiya Atma. Turiyam is another name, that's all. It's another name like Brahman, like Satchidananda. So we are not talking of separating and the waker from the Atma. Initially, we try to separate, we try to differentiate the Pancha Koshas. We say this is Annamaya Kosha, this is Pranamaya Kosha and all that. Initially, in our discussions of the Upanishad, we do differentiate Atma and Anatma. But ultimately, what you should say, this Atma itself is appearing as the Pancha Koshas. That is the way we should understand Upanishad. The Turiyam itself, the fourth state, which the Mandukya Upanishad says, that fourth state is not the fourth state, it is itself appearing. The same nature is appearing as the three states as waker, dreamer, sleeper. So in Mandukya, he says Atma is nothing, but Atma is the same, which we think that it is the waker. When we say waker, the wakerhood is superimposed on Atma. Similarly, the Panchakoshas, the 5 sheets, are superimposed on Brahman. Brahman is nothing but Atma. So don't forget this point. We are not trying to see our nature completely separately as a new entity. That mistake we should not make. Many people, they don't understand Upanishads unless they go through the commentary of Shankaracharya. They don't understand these finer aspects of the mantras which are revealed in the Upanishads. That is why they say that you need a guru to open up these mantras so that they can make the meaning clear to me. Okay, so that is a small side point which I wanted to say because it's very important. The Panchakoshas are themselves nothing but it is the Atma. The nature of the Panchakoshas is Atma. I myself am called as Atma when I look at my nature, intrinsic nature, as Sat Chit Ananda. So Satchidananda is not a separate entity. So don't keep on looking in meditation for a new entity, for a new experience called as Atma. You will never find it. The same waker has to realize the same Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, the entity which is owning up these 5 koshas, the ego, the Ahamkara. The Ahamkara itself has to recognize as Sakshi, Brahman, as Sat Chit Ananda. Okay, so that is one thing which I wanted to clear so that all of you, when you are trying to understand these verses, because these are, when we study the commentary, we are studying the technical aspects of the Upanishads. Because the Upanishad is trying to tell me, I am not the body. I am not the mind. I was never born. Ajaha. I am of the nature of consciousness. Now, the intellect doesn't understand these things unless until you break it up into technical topics. That is why we are seeing Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Technically, what do they mean? How do I understand these words? Okay, now let's go back to the slide number 118 where we stopped last week. We are in the 34th topic. The 34th topic, just to revise the 33rd topic, if something has to be revealed by words, which we saw last week, it has to satisfy 5 conditions. And what are the 5 conditions? Number 1, it should have Rudhi. Rudhi means prasiddhi. It should be well known. If anything is well known, my elders teach me, my teacher in the school teaches me, this is a ball, this is a pen, this is a mobile, then it can be known. Second condition is it should be a substance perceived by the sense organs. The third condition is it should have an attribute, gunaha. The fourth condition is kriya, a cook. You can describe a person saying he is a driver. He is a cook, he is a lawyer, he is a doctor, he is a teacher, he is a yoga teacher. Sambandha. Sambandha means relationship. Father and son, mother and daughter, brother and sister. So if there is a relationship, if there is an action, if there is an attribute, if there is something which can be perceived by the five sense organs, or if it is well known, then these five conditions, even if there is one condition, you can describe it with words. But Brahman does not satisfy these five conditions. Therefore, we have to use a different method. That different method is explained in the topic number 34. What is the method used to convey? There is a term which is called as Vachyartha and Lakshyartha. I have explained this before also, but this is coming again so that we can understand this better. Now, Vachyartha means that which directly reveals something. Lakshyartha means indirectly you come to know something. That is the basic difference between Vachyartha and Lakshyartha. We have seen Vachyartha for Jnanam. In the previous case, we have seen what is Vachyartha, what is Lakshyartha with reference to the word Jnanam. What did we say that time? We said Vachyartha means direct meaning, which means it is Vritti Jnanam. Whenever the mind is there, there are thoughts. The thoughts reveal knowledge. That is the direct meaning of Jnanam. What is the indirect meaning of Jnanam? When thoughts are not there, but you want to say that there is a Jnanam, that is what is called as Sarupa Jnanam. Sarupa, like Sarupam of Agni, fire is heat, light. Similarly, our Sarupam is Jnanam. Our Sarupam is Satyam. So what Shankaracharya says is, the way you have done for Jnanam, similarly apply the same principle for Satya. How do we apply Vachyartha and Lakshyartha for Satyam? See, when we try to understand Vedanta, these type of analysis will help us, because ultimately you want to know who am I. That I has got two aspects. One is Vachyartha, another is Lakshyartha. Vachyartha means body and mind. Lakshyartha means Atma, consciousness, existence, limitlessness. So because I has got two aspects, whenever we use the word I in our normal vyavahara, we use Vachyartha. But there is a Lakshyartha for I, and that is the I am existing. That existence is called as Lakshyartha. That is what is called as Satyam. So Satyam, when you say the Lakshyartha is existence without a name and form. Vachyartha means existence associated with the name and form. For example, if I want to describe a wall, what is a wall? Wall is nothing but it is a name and a form, because my eyes are perceiving it. And also it is existing. The existence nature is invisible, but the name and the form is visible to the sense organs. Okay? So existence with reference in the Vyavaharika world it is name and form. In the indicative meaning of existence is it is Paramarthika Satyam. That means what? It is existence minus name and form. Whatever is there without the name and form, we call it as a higher nature. Paramarthikam, Vyavaharikam. These are two levels in which the whole world is existing. Again and again, Shankaracharya will use this. Even in Bhagavad Gita, if you want to understand Bhagavad Gita, you should remember, you should know the technical terms very well. Even in Bhagavad Gita, when the Lord says, I am appearing as this world, means what? He is saying that the pure existence is now appearing as the world because my mind is awake. The same world exists beyond this world. There is the same I, the same Lord exists as Paramarthikam. Without the world, the Lord exists or not? Yes. That existence is called as Paramarthikam. Two words, Paramarthikam, Vyavaharikam. Immanent principle means Vyavaharikam. In and through the world, I see the Lord. In and through the world, I see Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. That is Vyavaharikam, transactional. I want to see pure existence, pure consciousness. That is the transcendent principle, which is called as Lakshyartha. And that Lakshyartha is called as Paramarthika Satyam. Okay? Very, very important analysis we do through this commentary so that whenever we study Upanishads, all these meanings, if we keep in mind, then it becomes very easy to know our nature as Atma. Very simple. It's the whole Vedanta, if you understand, is extremely simple, but you have to go through this process. Dakshinamurti Stotram, very beautiful mantra. The whole Dakshinamurti Stotram, about 8 verses, it has got all the aspects, the technical aspects of Vedanta, all the aspects are discussed in beautiful 10 verses of Dakshinamurti Stotram. It's a PhD of Vedanta. If you understand Dakshinamurti, you have understood the whole Upanishads. Yasyaiva Spuranam Sadatmakam. Here the word Sada is very important. Sada means what? Always it is existing. Asatkalpathakam bhasate sakshat tattvamasi vedavachasa yobhodayatya shritan yat sakshat karanat bhave na punara vriddhim bhava bovi nidhau tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye namaha. Who is Dakshinamurti? Dakshinamurti, the Lord, is the one who shows me this Satchidananda principle as my real nature. So that Lord who reveals my nature as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam is this Lord. Very beautiful verses of Dakshinamurti. So if Sat is visible, it will be Drivya. But Sat is not visible. You see, there are certain things which the Upanishads say, it is my nature. But how do I know it is my nature? Not because I can perceive it through my sense organs. Whatever I perceive through my sense organ is called as Dravyam, substance. So, when you remove the name and form from the substance, the object does not exist. Pure existence has to be grasped intellectually. When the world is not there, I am there or not, all of us have this experience. There is something in us which survives during our sleep state. What is that which survives during the sleep state? It is this Sat, it is this Chit, it is this Ananda which survives our sleep state. Sleep state belongs to the mind, but what illumines the sleep state is Sat Chit Ananda. Taittriya Viveka, a very beautiful text by Swami Vidyaranya. It says, Asti Bhati Priyam Rupam Nama Chet Panchakam. What are the 5 factors in anything which you have, which you perceive in the organ, in the world? Number 1, existence. A tree is existing. My mobile is existing. My laptop is existing. The world is existing. So existence is common to the entire universe. Bhati. So Asti means existence. Bhati means what? It is known to me. That knowingness does not depend on the sense organs. The knowingness depends on consciousness. Consciousness and existence, Asti Bhati, is not a part of the world, but it is part of Brahman. It is part of Atma. Priyam. Priyam means things are liked by me. That likingness does not belong to the world, but it belongs to the it belongs to the Atma. It is dear to me. An object is dear to me. A person is dear to me. But that dearness or the likability that is, according to Vidyaranya, he says, Asti Bhati Priyam. All these 3 do not belong to the world. It belongs to pure existence, pure consciousness, pure Ananda. Nama, Rupam and Nama, name and form belongs to the world. He is so-and-so, he is Shanta, she is Shanta, he is Mahesh, he is so-and-so. The name belongs to what? It belongs to the world. It does not belong to the Paramarthika Satya. It's a very beautiful verse of Taittriya Viveka. What does Taittriya Viveka, the central teaching of Taittriya Viveka, what does it say? Drishyam is asat. Whatever you perceive, whatever you experience is not the truth. It is seemingly existing. It is mithya. But what is the truth? Drik is the truth. Drik means what? It is the seer principle. And that seer principle never goes out of existence at any time. The consciousness, see, all of us, by experience, you will know that I am conscious, I am experiencing, I am the existence principle. This never goes out of us at any time. Even in during the sleep, we are existing. That is what is the revelation of the Upanishad. Not what the eyes can see. What the eyes cannot see is revealed by Veda. So Brahman Lakshyartha, the implied meaning is required to understand Brahman. The word Brahman, you need to understand, you need to filter out the Vachyartha from the word Brahman. The word Brahman means the world. It means me. The body mind complex itself is called as Brahman. That is why we say Aham Brahmasmi. But then when we understand this Aham Brahmasmi, what we should do? By Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana, by a method of dropping intellectually, I should in my mind drop the body and mind and hold on to that pure existence consciousness. It is possible to do it. It is done. It can be done by all human mind and intellect equipments. Therefore, the Veda teaches us that try to understand that your nature is pure consciousness. The whole Taittriya Upanishad is saying that your nature is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That is the seed verse for the whole Upanishad. Similarly, the seed verse for the whole Mandukya Upanishad is the seventh mantra. Anta Prajnam, Na Bahish Prajnam, No Bhaya Prajnam, that mantra. So every Upanishad has got one seed mantra. And here is the analysis of how to open up that seed mantra. Okay? If you have understood the 34th topic about Vachyartha, Lakshyartha, the next topic is very easy. Brahman means it is Nirgunam. Nirgunam means it has no gunas, no attributes. So when we say Anantam Brahma, limitless Brahman, what is the Vachyartha of that? Vachyartha means what? It is with limitation. And the Lakshyartha means what? It is without limitation. So Atma is with limitation or without limitation? Atma is without limitation. What do I experience in the sleep state? Am I limited or am I not limited? I am limitless. Atma is my experience in the sleep state. What is my experience in the waking state? I am limited to this body. I don't know anything about anything which the body is perceiving in London, in India. I am in Singapore. So my body is limited. My perceptions are limited within the waking state. So the Lakshyartha, you have to use the when you say Anantam or Jnanam or Satyam, what Shankaracharya is trying to say in this commentary, the central thing he's teaching us is, don't use the word Satyam Jnanam Anantam as Vachyartha, but use it as Lakshyartha. Indicative meaning, not direct meaning. Use the indirect meaning, don't use the direct meaning. Anantam, the direct meaning is, it is, Ananta means it is limitless. That limitlessness is indirect meaning. Okay? That is what is the description here. These are the actual translation of the commentary. But what I have done is I've made it simpler when I teach you like this. Vachyartha we have to use first. Whenever, that is the rule that he's going to say in the next slide also, is what he's saying is, Shankaracharya is saying is, whenever you want to understand the meaning of the word, first use Vachyartha. Only when Vachyartha fails, you use Lakshyartha. Vachyartha is Prabhalam. Prabhalam means strong. Durbalam means Lakshyartha, it is weaker. So first you use the direct meaning, then come to the indirect. Whenever you say Mahavakyam is the ultimate sentence which a guru teaches a student. Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, Aham Brahma Asmi, I am Atma Brahma. These are four sentences picked up from four Upanishads, and that is the ultimate teaching which a guru does to a student who has come to know, ask him to know. When a student comes to a teacher, a Vedantic teacher, the ultimate lesson is you are Brahman, Tattvamasi. And then what does the student say? Yes, I am that Brahman. The teacher has got the indicative meaning of the word I. He is not referring to the body and mind. That is what we should learn in Upanishads class. The main thing we should learn is the I, which I know, is not the right I. The I which I'm using for Vyavahara is different than the I which the Upanishad is revealing to me. Vakshyartha of the word I is a finite individual with a name and form. I go to work, I travel to London, I teach Upanishads, I teach in a school, I run every day morning, I went for a walk. All these are finite meanings of the word I, and they are all referring to the body. What does Upanishad say? You are Brahman. And that Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. What should a student do? The student should understand it as I am Brahman. I am Satyam. Means I exist. I stands for pure existence. I stands for consciousness. I stands for limitlessness. So I have to drop the three bodies, the Karana Shariram, the Sukshma Shariram, and Stula Shariram. And then what do I have to retain? I have to retain the existence, consciousness, limitless principle, which is called as Brahman. Okay? So the condition for, what is the main condition for Lakshyartha? The main condition is the Vakshyartha should fail. If the Vakshyartha is successful in revealing the meaning, for example, this is a wall, this is a chair, this is a phone, this is a laptop. You can use Vakshyartha. Vaksha means a direct meaning. The direct meaning is conveying the object which I'm able to perceive. Okay? So, for Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, first you apply Vakshyartha. When that fails, you use Lakshyartha. For Jnanam, what is the Vakshyartha? Vritti Jnanam. Whatever I can understand through my sense organs and the thoughts is the Jnanam. That is the Vakshyartha. But what is the Swarupa Jnanam? Chaitanyam, consciousness, it is Swarupam. It is the Lakshyartha. So we have to take Lakshyartha for all the three words. There is a connection between Niyamya and Niyamaka. These are just two Sanskrit words. It will be explained later. I will come to that later. What Shankaracharya wants to say by these two words, Niyamya, Niyamyaka, governing and governed. The words, these three words, they govern Atma. There is these three words, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, they refine the definition of Atma. Okay. So again, here's Bhakshartha, Lakshyartha of Satyam is given. How do I understand this direct and indirect Vakshartha, Lakshartha? Shankaraj, here there is a, when I was listening to the talks, the commentator, they had used Chemmangudi singing today. Chemmangudi is a place. When the person says Chemmangudi is singing or Bombay is singing today, what that is the direct meaning. That is the Vakshartha. What is the Lakshyartha? The person who comes from Bombay is singing. The person who has come from that village called Chemmangudi is singing. So the Vakshyartha is restricting the meaning. Therefore, I can't use Vakshyartha in this particular example. Another very similar example is, suppose you say in cricket, Pakistan is playing, or Britain is playing, or Australia is playing today. India won the match. When you say this, are you using direct meaning or indirect meaning? The direct meaning of is Australia lost the match. The country cannot lose the match. It is the batsman or a fielder or the players who have lost the match. So you have to, normally this Vakshartha, Lakshartha is very, very commonly used by us. 8 o'clock train, 8 o'clock has gone, 7 o'clock has gone, the 7 o'clock has gone. When you go and stand in the station, you tell the other person, has the 8 o'clock come? No, 8 o'clock has not come. 8 o'clock means time. What he is referring to is not the time. He is actually asking whether the 8 o'clock train has come and gone. So that is the way we normally use in our local transaction itself. This indicative meaning, indirect meaning, and direct meaning. Same thing we have to apply when we come to philosophy. When we try to understand what is Atma, again, don't go for the direct meaning of the word I, go for the indirect meaning. Taittriya Upanishad has got this beautiful verse which says, it comes later, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan napibeti kadachaneti tasyaiva eva shariratma yapurvasya. See, this is what this sentence, this verse says, that the words, they return without touching the Atma. They cannot reach Atma. Because why words cannot reach? Because Atma does not meet the 5 conditions which we discussed before. Words can only describe if there are 5 conditions which can be used to describe the words. But then we use the words in the Upanishad with a Lakshyartha meaning. Another verse which comes in the 7th section of the 2nd chapter itself is Asatva idam agre asid. In the beginning, there was only non-existence. From that, existence was born, that created it by itself. There are many verses which in the Taittriya Upanishad we will talk about, which describe that Brahman cannot be defined directly. Therefore, we have to use the indirect meaning. Okay. The next topic is Vakya Vritti. Vakya Vritti is a text written by Shankaracharya. It describes the 4 Mahavakyas in a grammatical way. Now, I'm not going to go into the grammar part because it will take a long time for me to explain all that. It is also very long-winded. So I will skip the grammar portion. Some portions which are relevant, I will discuss it. This grammar portion keeps on coming again and again. Whenever it is relevant, I will discuss that. But in this particular section, topic 37, we'll skip it. It only says that adjectives can be used to describe an object. But adjectives cannot be used if it is not an object, but it is the subject. Okay. Earlier, I had said I will talk about niyamya, niyamyaka, governor, and governed. What is the meaning of that with reference to Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam? Okay, that is this section. It is we have done the governor and governing. When I took the earlier topic itself, I said that Lakshyartha is the governor. Vakshyartha is the governed. Okay. Vyavaharika Satyam is what is governed. Lakshyartha is Paramarthika Satyam, which is the governing principle. These are all different ways Shankaracharya tries to use to explain to us the truth behind these three words. You see how much pain he takes. He go through his commentary, so many ways he describes the same three words again and again. In the next topic, number 39, he is asking, are these three words connected or they are disconnected? Are they separate or they are having some connection in between? The answer to the question is they are very much connected. They are very much connected because, I mean, we'll see how they are connected. When we see the slides, we'll see that they are connected. And then there is a which part of it is connected, which part of it is not connected. I mean, there's a lot of commentators who go into the depth of this aspect also. Satyam goes with Jnanam and Anantam. Satyam qualifies the word Brahman. Satyam means existence. Existence is Brahman. Jnanam is determined by the word Satyam and Anantam. They are connected. Jnanam is connected to Satyam. Jnanam is connected to Anantam. And then only you try to arrive at the final meaning. Okay, that is what is the essence behind this discussion here. What happens when Anantam joins Brahman? Jnanam. When we use Anantam, what is the meaning of Anantam? Anantam means limitless. How is that limitless connected with Jnanam? Suppose you didn't have the word Anantam in this first mantra. You might take up Vritti Jnanam as Brahman. That is what Shankaracharya is trying to tell us. Similarly, Anantam, if it is not there, you might take what? Satyam as the existence of the world, not of the existence of Brahman. The existence of Brahman is the Lakshyartha. Why we say it is Lakshyartha, Satyam is you have to take Lakshyartha, because we are talking about a limitless existence. Existence without any limitations. Objects are limited. So when we say objects are existing, it is a limited existence. I know this object means it is Vritti Jnanam. I want to know what is the truth behind the universe. Whether the mind is awake or not, I should know what is the truth. Similarly, when the mind is awake or not, I should know who am I. That is where Shankaracharya keeps on telling us the word Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. They are beautiful words selected by the Upanishads to reveal what the sense organs cannot perceive. Okay, such a beautiful analysis. You see, it is talking about Swarupa Jnanam. Why we say it's Swarupa Jnanam, not Vritti Jnanam, Satyam Jnanam Anantam? Together, he's talking about my Swarupa. My Swarupa, my nature is not Vritti Jnanam. Vritti Jnanam is coming and going. In the waking state, I have this Jnanam about the world, the knowledge of the world, the knowledge of this body, the knowledge of my mind, the knowledge of my emotions. But is that me? Is that the real I? This Vyavaharika transactional I, which is the Ahamkara I, that is not what is my real Swarupa. Try to get this point. Very important, very, very small, very, very fine, refined meaning of Satyam Jnanam Ananta. Lakshartha, Vachartha. Vachartha is the body mind. Lakshartha is Atma. How do I see this Atma? Atma is limitless. Atma is consciousness. Atma is existence. Through this analysis, we try to understand our real nature. So the connection, what Shankaracharya says, is an indirect connection. It influences the meaning of our understanding of Satyam Jnanam Anantam. It is not directly influencing. The connection is not a direct connection. For example, he says there is there is an indirect connection between the three words. Backdoor influence. Without going through the front door, there is a backdoor influence. What is the backdoor influence? They are all interconnected because they all are trying to reveal the same entity, which is called as Brahman or Atma. Satyam reveals Atma. Jnanam reveals Atma. Anantam reveals Atma. They are all talking of the same entity. Okay. Next topic is grammar portion again. It comes the Sureshwaracharya, one of the disciples of Shankaracharya, direct disciple. He has written a book called as Naishkarmya Siddhi. This is a text which is taken for, it is an advanced text, consists of about 200-300 verses, I think. And I have got the notes of Naishkarmya Siddhi in my website. I have done the notes for that. There are three textbooks which we say is advanced textbooks. One is Vichara Sagara, another is Naishkarmya Siddhi, and the third is Shruti Sara Samudra. These are three advanced texts which people do after the Upanishadic understanding of the meanings of the verses. They give you a more refined meaning of all this. In that, Naishkarmya Siddhi, Sureshwaracharya, he takes this Vakya Vritti. Vakya Vritti is a text written by Shankaracharya. And there he analyzes this particular verse number 5 of Vakya Vritti. And then he gives the meaning he gives the meaning of this particular verse and then goes into depth. He talks in terms of how knowledge is created out of the subject, object, instrument, how a sentence is created and so on. Anyway, those things I'm not getting into the details. I said I will skip that portion because it will take a very long time. But here in Vedanta Sara, an example is used. Soyam Devadatta. Soyam Devadatta. That Ramesh or Devadatta. Devadatta is just a name. Is this Devadatta? When somebody says, two friends are meeting and say that Ramesh is this Ramesh. That Ramesh means what? It is talking about the attributes of Ramesh which existed 20 years back. Is this Ramesh? You see, what we are trying to prove here is how to do Bhaga, Tyaga, Lakshana and retain the person. This is very often used. This is a Soyam Devatata is a Vedic example. It is used in Upanishad, Praranika Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad. They all use this example. So when you remove the attributes of a person when he was young and remove the attributes of the person when he is old, you remove this. That is what is called as Tyaga, Bhaga Tyaga. A portion of that you remove. But what you don't remove, that person. And how do you say that person is this person? Similarly, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is our real Swarupam. Whenever you see your body and mind, you always think of that higher nature. Without desha, without kala, without viseshanas, without attributes, who am I? I am Sat Chit Anand. It's a very beautiful portion where this example is used to say how to analyze this Satyam Jnanam Anantam with reference to Bhaga Tyaga Lakshana. You remove the Visishta, the portions which describe the attributes of a person. Attributes can be seen, can be perceived. The gray hair, the skinny man today is different than what he was when he was young. But the person is the same. So our intellect has the capacity to drop the variable factors and hold on to the invariable factor. So similarly, in Satchidananda Atma, and then you put a name after that, you can drop the name with the attributes and retain the original intrinsic nature. So with this, Satyam Jnanam is almost over. Anantam will be taken up later. What now Shankaracharya is going to do is, he is going to comment on the Yo Veda Nihitam Guhaya. This is the second part of that first mantra. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhaya. Now the discussion is going to be on what? Where do I know this Brahman? Do I know this Brahman and do I know it outside me or is it inside me? So here what Shankaracharya says is the intellect is a guha. Guha means it is a cave. And the whole creation consisting of knowledge, the knower of the knowledge, and the known objects are concealed in our intellect. See, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhaya, the one who knows the Satyam Jnanam Brahma in the intellect, he is the one who is the real knower of the truth. That is the meaning of this. That is the gist of this mantra. So we have to know Satyam Jnanam Anantam is my real nature, intrinsic nature, and I have to know it where? In the intellect, in the guha. It is hidden. Where do we experience everything? Our experience is based on Vritti Jnanam. Vritti Jnanam takes place in the intellect. Sorrow, happiness, Purusharthas, Artha, Kama, Dharma. Where do we experience all this? They're all hidden in the intellect. So this Brahman is obtainable nihitam guhayam. It is recognizable in the intellect. In our own mind, we have to understand the deepest portion, the deepest part of our nature is hidden in our intellect. Shankaracharya, in most of his commentaries, he says, if you want to know who you are, you have to look inside your own mind. The analysis of the human mind is the analysis of the self. The self, Atma, is a psychological analysis of our mind. Very, very deep analysis of our mind. Yoga Shastra specializes in the analysis of our mind in a very, very deep way. Desha Kala Vastu Paricheda Shunyam is Anantam. Anantam is free from time, space, and objects. See, Anantam is not Shunyam. Remember this. There is a difference between saying Shunyam. Shunyam means non-existence. Anantam means existence of something, which is called as Brahman or Atma. Okay, so this particular mantra here, which is what is our analysis, Om Brahma Vida Apnoti Param Tadesham Yuktam Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is over. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayan Parame Vyoman. After this, he will take the word Parame Vyoman. Where is this space? I will come to that a little later. So, analysis of Yoveda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman is this Brahman which we have discussed so far as Satyam Jnanam Anantam is recognized in oneself, in the intellect. Intellect which is like a cave because it is hidden. A cave, why Buddhi is called a cave? Buddhi is dark and it is full of ignorance, ajnanam. So, like you have darkness in a cave and you can't see things there, similarly, my intellect is dark because it doesn't have Atma Jnanam. Suppose I have Atma Jnanam, what will happen? That darkness will be gone, ignorance will be gone, and I will know I am that Atma forever. You will never ever come back and say, I am this body. That is what is the power of this Vedantic knowledge. Entire creation consists of Tribhuti is hidden in the Buddhi. That is why what happens in the sleep state, the Buddhi, the intellect, withdraws the entire creation into itself. The Buddhi consists of Triphuti. Triphuti means what? The knower, known, and knowing instrument. See, now we are not talking in terms of the objects. Now we are talking of the knower. Knower is a subtler principle compared to an object. Object is outside. It is gross. But there is a knowing principle in this body. That knowing principle is the one which is powered by the consciousness. Jnatru, Jneya, Jnanam. Jnanam is the knowledge. Jnatru means the knower or the subject. Jneyam means it is the object. The creation is Nigudaha. Nigudaha means the creation is like a cave with darkness. The mind, how the entire world is hid, is as though hidden in our mind. This is the next topic for our discussion. The creation, how is it hidden in our mind? Our mind has got two conditions. One condition, very important point to note. See, all these points, they add up to our knowledge of Vedanta. What are the two conditions of our mind? One is called as passive condition. Another is called as active condition. Passive condition means what? Deep sleep. See, it is our mind which has gone to sleep, but not Atma. Atma is the illumining principle. It is always existing. Mind has gone to sleep. Atma is illumining one specific mind which has gone to sleep, and that person is not able to experience the world. When the person is not able to experience the world, we say the world has gone into unmanifest condition. For whom? Not the waker, but for the sleeper. When it is an active condition, the mind is an active condition, the world is experienced by us. We say the world is manifested. It is manifesting. Manifesting means the sense organs can perceive the world. You must try to, in your own intellect, try to understand manifestation and manifestation. Manifestation and manifestation. Think about it. Let your mind sink into this topic of manifestation. I myself am the waker. I myself am the sleeper. When I say I myself am the waker, means what? I am referring to my mind which has gone to sleep. I myself have gone to sleep. I myself have become the waker. It is the mind which is identified with. I am Atma. Atma, does it go to sleep? No. It is existence principle. It is always there. So mind is where the world is hidden. That is the meaning of Nigudaha. One derivation of Niguda is mind is, the world is hidden in our mind. The second derivation is Purusharthas are also called as hidden in the mind. Dharma Artha Kama is a Purushartha. It is a goal of human being. So Guha is a Buddhi in which the goals are also hidden. Okay. Then in that Buddhi, where is that Buddhi located? That is the next question. Buddhi is located in Parame Vyoman, Supreme Akasha. Now here, Akasha stands for Karana Shariram. Where does the Buddhi, where is the locus of the Buddhi? All our Buddhis, yeah? They go all into unmanifest condition. That is what is the causal body. So inside the Karana Shariram is this Brahman. See how deep we have to go. From Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram, cross the Karana Shariram. Once you have come to Karana Shariram is the body which is being experienced by us, which is basically ignorance. In our sleep, what is being experienced? That I don't know anything. Here, the Karana Shariram is called as Akasha. Inside this Akasha, Parame Vyoman is this Brahman. So Brahman is in the cave Guha, which is inside, which is the deepest portion of our existence. That is the meaning of Yoveda Nihitam Guhaya Parame Vyoman. The one who knows Brahman in his own Buddhi, which is beyond, which is existing in the Karana Shariram, Buddhi is the Sukshma Shariram. Sukshma Shariram is in Karana Shariram. That Brahman is what you are. Okay? So, Brahman is in the Akasha means, now you understand, Akasha means Karana Shariram. Okay? So, this is just revision. I won't go through the revision portion. We have already studied, what is it? Guhayam, Parame, Vyoman has got three interpretation. Parame, Vyoman, Guhaya. In the cave, in the Akasha, in the sacred Akasha of Karana Sharira. Okay, that is the three meanings of this I mean, there are some more analysis of what Shankaracharya says about this Guha and all that. I won't go into the deeper aspect, but if you are interested, you can go through this on your own. And the mind instrument, I have said, when the mind instrument is active, the world is there. When the mind is resolved, the world is resolved. Very important point when you come to Vedanta. You must know your mind. What is the mind? It is an instrument. It is whose instrument? For the jiva. The jiva uses the mind to experience the world. It is an instrument. Like I use my car to go to market. I come back, do the shopping, and I come back, return home. I use the car. I use the mind. Who uses the mind? The jiva. The jiva has to understand that this whole world is manifesting, unmanifesting. Manifestation when the mind is active, unmanifestation when the mind is passive. Who controls this manifestation, unmanifestation? The Lord, Ishvara. Waking, dream, and sleep are under the controller of Ishvara, the central coordinator for this whole Jagat, who controls this Jagat. Mandukya Upanishad has this Karika. Whatever is perceived in this world as movable and immovable is nothing but the perception of the mind, manifestation and unmanifestation. Plurality is not perceived when the mind is transcended. See, Gaudapadacharya, who has written the commentary on Mandukya Upanishad, his central theme of analysis in Mandukya Upanishad is in this verse. What does he say? He says the same idea is taken up by Shankaracharya while giving the meaning of Guhayam. He refers to this verse of Mandukya. The whole world is in the mind. When the mind is asleep, I don't see the world. I don't experience the world. When the mind is awake, I experience the world. So manifestation, unmanifestation is a phenomena. It is the way the world is created is like that. The Lord has made the world like that. Okay? And then who am I? I am the Sakshi. I am the unconnected, relationless Sakshi. I don't, as Brahman, as Satchidananda, am I connected with the world? No. In my presence, everything is happening. These are all later corollaries which Shankaracharya uses. Okay, so that is about, there is also another reference to Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, this particular mantra is a very famous mantra. What it says is that consciousness, the Atma, is never seen, but it is the witness. It is never heard, but it is the hearer. It is never thought, but it is the thinker. It is never known, but it is the knower. There is no other witness, there is no other consciousness other than this. This is the definition of Atma in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. What is behind the thinker? Same thing is in Kena Upanishad also. The thinking, the faculty of hearing, all this is possible only because of the presence of Atma. Okay. Vivek Chodamani also describes the where is this Atma located? It is in the intellect. This particular verse number 132 of Vivek Chodamani. Okay. Okay, there is a description of Samanadi Karana Vakyam and all that. Again, I'm not going to the grammar portion. All these slides are only trying to tell us that Guha means you have to cross the Karana Shariram and then see the Atma. All the slides are only talking about that Akasha. Akasha means it is the unmanifest Karana Shariram. And Mundaka Upanishad has this beautiful verse which says, when you break Vidyate Hridayat Grantihi Chidyante Sarva Samshaya Shiyante Chasi Karmani Tasmin Drishte Paravare. When you break, when the knots of the ignorance are broken, what happens when the ignorance is gone? All your doubts will be dispelled. And when all your doubts are dispelled, all the karmas which are attached to you will be consumed, will be burnt. See, it is the Karana Shariram where all the impressions of the previous actions are there. The moment you get up in the morning, what happens? You become aware of the surge of thoughts. In the sleep state, where were these thoughts? In unmanifest condition. That unmanifest condition is the Karana Sharira. This Purusha, this Satchit Ananda Atma is of the size of a thumb. Kathopanishad says this. And it is hidden where? It is hidden in this Karana Sharira. So know that Atma deep within yourself, beyond this Ahamkara, there is this Atma. Kena Upanishad also says Pratibodha Viditam Matam. Beyond, before any knowledge, Vritti Jnanam arises in your mind, there is this light of Atma which is illumining the Vrittis. That is the famous verse of Kena Upanishad. See, all these are trying to teach me about something which I don't perceive and how to realize that Atma is this beautiful analysis of Shankaracharya. It goes on and on and on. You know, he gives examples, he quotes mantras. Atma Bodha, another beautiful mantra he quotes. It says that it is in this buddhi, Atma reflects. Just like a reflection of my face in a mirror. This is Atma Bodha example. 12th mantra of Atma Bodha, 17th mantra of Atma Bodha. What does it say? Like you take a rough surface in a stone, my face is not reflected. But in a mirror, my face is reflected. So similarly, Atma is reflected in the buddhi, in the mind mirror. And it activates the mind. When the reflection happens, it activates the mind and then you experience the world. Nana Chit Khato Darasti Tamaha Deepak Prabha Bhaswaram Dakshinamurti Stotram. Okay. So this Atma can be recognized as the Sakshi behind all our thoughts. This Jnanam principle can be realized as the witness of all our vrittis, thoughts. Brahman as existence can be recognized outside. See, whenever I see the world, I don't have to close the eyes to realize myself. The same self exists in three forms. One is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Satyam aspect, how do I recognize? Whenever I open the eyes, I see the world, it's all existing. That is what here Shankaracharya is trying to say. Consciousness has to be recognized in our mind. Existence can be recognized outside in the world. And this consciousness cannot be realized anywhere else outside. Existence can be realized, such principle, because the sun is existing, the stars are existing, the planets are existing. So existence is common to the entire universe. Okay? Desha and Kala, time. Time is born when the mind is born. When the mind is sleeping, there is no concept of time. Time exists when the mind is active. Time loses its meaning, it goes into unmanifest condition, which is called as timelessness, which is called as Atma. From that Atma only, mind is born, mind comes into existence, mind goes off into unmanifest condition. The witness of the presence of our thought and the absence of our thought never sleeps. The witness doesn't sleep. The mind sleeps, the mind is active, mind is inactive. Okay. I mean, there is an example, I have taken this before, like the moon gets reflected light from the sun. Similarly, our mind gets reflection from the Atma. Okay. And how Grahanam happens and all that, it's a very similar phenomena, which is explained here. So, Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschiteti. These are the two sentences which are talking about Jnana Phalam. Okay. What is Jnana Phalam? If I come to know Brahman in the intellect, I will know my real Swarupam. When I know my real Swarupam, what happens? I am free. Okay. So these are all just a revision of what we have done before. So what we are covering in Brahmavida Apnoti Param is what is Brahman, how to know Brahman, what is the benefit of knowing Brahman. What is Brahman? Brahman is Upalakshanam. Upalakshanam means what? It is a indicative meaning of my Swarupam. How to know that Brahman? Through the intellect. What is the benefit of knowing that Brahman? What is the phalam? I am free from my identification with the body. Okay. I will take up the next topic next week. There is a very beautiful verse, Sarva Bhutastamatmanam, Sarva Bhutani Chatmane, Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma, Sarvatra Samadarshinaha. 6th chapter, which is the meditation chapter of Bhagavad Gita, tells me When the mind of the yogi is harmonized, it is controlled, he sees the self abiding in all the beings, and he sees the same self everywhere. Consciousness is one in which all the jivas remain when they are in the sleep state. Where do I go when I am asleep? I go back to my Swarupa. So the moment I come back to waking, what happens? My mind is awake. I'm identified with the mind. That Swarupam, that Atma Swarupam is the one which lights up the mind in the waking. It withdraws the mind in sleep. And in that Atma, the sun can never shine, the moon can never shine, the stars can never shine, the lightnings or the fire cannot shine there. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidhyato bhanti kutoyo magnihi. We must remember this Kathopanishad Vakyam to understand the nature of Atma. Okay, so with that, we'll close today's talk. And next week, there is an interesting topic here, and that is topic number 44. We are coming towards the end of our discussions for the first mantra. Does a jnani enjoy all the pleasures simultaneously or one by one? That is what we will be discussing next week. Okay, there are beautiful analysis with reference to this. See, each of this can be analyzed in a very deep way. That is what we are doing in a Bhashyam study. Bhashyam study is not just 4 lines of the mantra and then you just try to understand the meaning of the 4 lines and then go to the next mantra. Whereas Bhashyam involves all this type of analysis. Why we do this Bhashyam? Because it gives me a deeper understanding of the Upanishads. It takes time. You see, we have taken almost 8-10 sessions behind this one verse itself. But that is the way Bhashyams are written. It's a very, very slow, tedious study. You can take it up also individually also, you can take it up. But you need some background like this, what I have done. After this, when you study Bhashyam, it will be very easy for you because I have given you the gist of the background analysis. Okay. So most probably next week, I think we will finish the next. We'll try to finish the first verse, and if you want to continue this type of study, you want me to continue for another 4 or 5 sessions or 10 sessions, I can continue. But I want your feedback on this type of analysis, whether you like it, whether you want me to go through it. Today in our discussions after the class, you come back to me with your view on this type of study, how long you want me to continue this Bhashyam till we go back to the next Upanishad. Okay, so next week will be topic number 44. Does a jnani enjoy pleasures simultaneously or one by one? Whether there is a krama or there is akrama. Krama means order. Akrama means there is no order. He enjoys it all at once. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachade Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyade Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Okay, so we'll go to the chat box. There are no major questions there today. So if you have any questions, or if you have, oh, there are plenty of people who are raising up their hand. Okay, so we'll go one by one. Manikandan, can you go ahead?
Thank you, Segarji. I have one question about the Akasha, that is the Karna Sariram.
Yes.
As the Brahman is beyond the space, we say that Brahman is beyond time, space, and object. How we can understand that it is hiding in the Akasha, which is like a space. This means Akasha is also beyond the space.
Okay. Here, Akasha means Karna Sharira. Here, only in this particular analysis, Soshnute Sarvan Kaman, so in this particular verse, Parame Vyoman. Vyoman here stands for Karna Sharira, Akashe. It is only in this particular case, it means it is not the physical space we are talking about, it is not the elemental space. Here, Akasha stands for the Karna Sharira.
Okay. Thank you.
Basically, when we try to understand this Atma, we are already dropping the elemental space when we are talking about Atma. That elemental space is gone. That is the physical Akasha in which all the world is seen. Here we are talking about Karana Shariram. Karana Shariram is the Punya Papam, or the ignorance which is there, which covers my nature. So here the references for the space which exists. You see, what Shankaracharya is trying to say is Sthula Shariram. With the help of Sthula Shariram, you see the Sthula Prapanch. Then what happens? The Sthula Shariram depends on Sukshma Shariram. Without the Sukshma Shariram, you cannot have Sthula Shariram. Therefore, come and realize Atma in the Sukshma Shariram. But in the Sukshma Shariram, the intellect is there. Now, where does the intellect reside? Intellect resides in the Karana Shariram. Without the Karana Shariram, that means without the Punya Papam, Karma, Phalams, there cannot be a Jiva. So without the Punya Papa Phalam, which is the Karana Shariram, which is ignorance. See, Karana Shariram can be defined in two ways. One is, you can say positively, it is Punya Papa Phalams. The second way to understand Karana Shariram is, it is Ajnana Swarupa. It is Mula Avidya. It is the unmanifest condition of the entire Jagat, where the whole world goes into unmanifest condition. This is easier to believe because we are experiencing this every day in our sleep. We see the world, we don't see the world. We experience the world of sense objects, and then we also experience the unmanifest condition of the world. See, this condition also refers to you only. See, when I'm trying to analyze the world, and I'm trying to analyze myself, when I try to analyze my nature, what do I see? I see this physical body. I see this physical world. So what the Veda says, as long as you're seeing the physical body, the world is seen. Then you have another experience. What is the experience? I have a dream state. Dream state is only where the mind is there. There is no other external world is not seen in the dream state. Okay? So the second experience I have is the dream state and the dream experience. So that is where we say there is a mind, there is an intellect, there is something which is there. I see, mind is invisible. Okay, and beyond that is my third experience. What is the third experience? neither I know the world, neither I know the mind, neither I know this physical body. It has all gone into some one. That is what is called in Mandukya Upanishad as Ghana Prajnana, unmanifest condition of the world. The whole world has gone into a soup called as the whole world has dissolved in a dissolved condition. That is what is called as karma sharira. So here the karma shariram is referred as akasha. See, in Sanskrit, there are different meanings according to the context. Okay, all right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Manikandan. Shanta, you have a question? Can you hear me, Shanta?
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Yeah, thank you. My question was similar to Manikandan's about this Akasha, because I also got confused. The Akasha was different.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I think
So,
it's
but the
clear.
thing is, yeah, but the question then I've got is when we say the mind, when we go to the sleep state and we're not in the dream or the waking state, I remember you mentioning that the mind goes to Hiranyagarbha. It goes back to its own
Yeah,
place, right?
correct.
So when I, with my intellect, when I'm going through the cave of Guha, which you mentioned, through the knowledge, the Uma, you know, the so I'm going to my Karana Sharira, which will then lead me to burn off all my karmas previous, or the the moksha point of moksha, shall I say.
Yeah.
So then that is what Akasha we're talking about now. So when mind goes to Hiranyagarbha, and if your intellect is going to this Akasha, which is a Karana Sharira, then which is the first place to go to? Or shall I say, uh, is there a order in this going? Because
Okay. Yeah, it's a
that's
good
why I'm
question.
confused
Yeah,
whether,
yeah.
and
Okay.
is it the same?
Okay. See, what we say is for the Sthula Shariram, there is a corresponding Sthula Prapancha. Sthula Shariram is called as Vishwa. Sthula Prapancha means the world is called as Virat. So this is one level of our existence. Sthula Shariram, Sthula Prapancha. Sthula Prapancha is given a name Virat. Virat Purushaha. The Purusha Suktam, which we learn, it is a Suktam. That Suktam describes the Virat Purusha. The 10th chapter and the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshana, that is regarding the Virat Purusha. Lord Krishna is showing the whole world is this Virat Purusha. Yeah. Next comes the second level. Second level is the Sukshma Sharira. Whenever we say the Sukshma Shariram, we can either say the Sukshma Shariram dissolves into Karana Shariram at the individual level, or we can say the Sukshma Shariram merges with the total Sukshma Shariram at the macro
that
level.
becomes okay.
So when we say it is at the macro level, it merges, it is called as Hiranyagarbha. And the Sukshma Shariram is called as Taijasa in the individual level. These names are given in Mandukya. Only when you study Mandukya, these names, 6 names are given there. Once you study Mandukya, you will get these 6 names crystal clear. But anyway, you have some knowledge of this. So when you say, is it, what is the order? The order, there's no order. The order is in what context you are trying to analyze. Are you analyzing with reference to the macro universe and the micro universe? Or you are only analyzing with reference to the micro universe, the individual? So the Sukshma Shariram can dissolve, it has to dissolve only in the Karana Shariram. when you're looking at the Vesti individual analysis.
Mm.
But when you're analyzing the corresponding world, then you can say it merges with the Hiranyagarbha, which is the total mind. See,
Okay.
like I have a mind, the creator also has a mind. So my mind resolves in the creator. That is why we say it resolves with Ishvara at sleep. When we say the mind resolves with the rest with Ishvara, at that time Ishvara stands for Karana Sharira. Karana Prapancha.
Prapancha.
Ishvara is Karana Prapancha. The cause of the whole universe is Ishvara. The cause of this one particular body is called as Prajna. That is the individual Sharira, individual Karana Sharira. Okay.
So does it not?
Yes, so does it not then move your from, say, for example, the binary to triangle? Because
Yes,
you're
it
saying
does. It does. It does. You're right. See, this three, whenever you're talking about three sharirams, it is already in triangular format. It is not binary format. It is not Atma and Atma format. Atma and Atma format is a different format. So when you are in the triangular format, only you are talking about these three sharirams. Moment you talk about three sharirams, you are in the triangular format. Good. You're slowly progressing in understanding all the technical. You see, this is the way to understand the Upanishad. Slowly, you have to understand the technical aspect. Unless you understand the technical aspects, you will not realize the phala. See, you will know what is this Upanishad. You can even teach Upanishad, but you will not be able to realize moksha. To realize moksha, which is the real essence behind learning or understanding the Upanishad, it is very easy. Moksha is very easy. The moment you understand that, that is what I said in the beginning of today's session, where Shankaracharya beautifully says in Mandukya commentary, in the analysis of Atma, this Atma is nothing but the same physical body, but it is a different status. The Shariram and the five koshas and the three bodies are the status. My own status. Atma itself has to be recognized in the five koshas, in the three sharirams, in the three avasthas. That is what we should learn. I am the waker. I am the dreamer. I am the sleeper. And I am the Turiya. I am the Turiya Atma. So the Turiya Atma is not a distinctly different state. Don't take it as a different state. It is the same Atma which is now appearing as the waker. What is that Atma? Atma is a pure being. It is a pure essence in which the Shariram is not experienced, in which the world is not experienced. This is the way to realize the self-knowledge. Self-knowledge means it is correcting my error, the mistake which I am making today. I want to correct that. So, Atma Jnanam or the self-knowledge is a conclusion which I have made, I'm correcting it. What is the conclusion? See, I am experiencing, I am the experiencer. No doubt about it, all of you, when you come to Vedanta, body cannot experience. Body is inert. There is some experiencing principle behind this body. And without this body, I cannot experience the world. So without the body, I cannot experience the world. And this body itself is inert. It is made up of Panchabhutas. So who is that experiencer? That experiencer says, I am the waker, I am the dreamer, I am the sleeper. Under this broad classification of a waker is all the other roles. I am a mother, I'm a father, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I am working, and all this is connected to that ahankara I. That ahankara I is the unreal I. It is the unreal I. The real I is consciousness. The same waker has to realize I am Atma. So you and I, in the waking state, have to say, learn to say, I am Atma, the pure consciousness. When you learn to say, I am the Atma, the pure consciousness, you have dropped the identification with this body, with the ahankara, and you are claiming your nature. Claiming the nature is dropping the misconception that I am the body. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Dhanyavad Mohoday. And the other thing I want to say is you asked the question that you wanted feedback. I think I would love if you could, and if others also give you the go ahead for Shankaracharya's Bhashyam to be continued, because I think this is actually helping me to understand more than just, going through the Upanishad. The Bhashyam is making more opening of the knowledge.
Oh,
So
good.
if you could continue, that would be good. But of course, it depends on all the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
So from
what
my
would
side,
others-
it's yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
good.
you.
Okay. I'm very happy to hear this from you because earlier you said before we started the Bhashyam that, Bhashyam may not be, it is something very new, but I'm very glad to hear this from you. I want to have the feedback from others also, because then I will see whether I should just continue the Bhashyam study commentary, like what I know. The notes are available. Another 1,600 pages are available for Taittriya Upanishad. I want to understand from others also.
Yeah.
You
So
like-
that's why I said from my
Yeah.
side, yes, but of
Good.
course, let's go democratic here.
Yeah,
Let's find
Sumana
out.
is saying is please continue the Bhashyam. Then I can see many people are saying continue the Bhashyam. Saroj is asking, I second her opinion. There's plus Tiro Manikandan. Okay. Okay. I think there's a.
I think we've made the numbers.
Kindly continue with Bhashyam. Kindly continue with Bhashyam.
Okay. So even though you may not come to, you may not come to Katha Upanishad or Mandukya, we'll have to continue then Taittriya. Let's continue. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Shankaracharya's Bhashyam is the ultimate. Whether you pick up 30-40% of the analysis or the full analysis, it doesn't matter. But this is the ultimate. If you understand the Bhashyams, you understand the Upanishad. Very, very important. There is nothing like the Shankara Bhashyam. You may have heard from so many different talks, but ultimately you have to come to the Bhashyam. It is Moksha Shastra. No doubt about it. And the way Shankaracharya analyzes and brings out the meaning, nobody else can. I can tell you this for sure. Okay, I understand. We'll continue. So I'll just continue as long as I will take this survey every maybe 5, 8, 10 sessions, and we'll just continue. We'll see. Good. Is there any other question? Any other? Yes.
I have a question. Oh, no, I'm just asking you. I read a statement somewhere, and it says whatever that happened in the world is your internal that you have projected, and therefore it manifests in the world. I really don't understand. The reason being, I also remember I asked you, there's nothing that in this world can be controlled. It is all karma. It has to happen. Whatever is good, bad, normal, you know. So my question to you is, this is the statement that I read. It says, whatever that is internally, that you, it is internal, it's supposed to be internal. It happens in your internal, and therefore it manifests externally. To me, if a human being, example, I like to use this example, if internal is happy, that always project internal, that would be the best of the world, that as a human being with the mind and the body. However, it's interesting. How would internal be sorrow? And I mean, personally, I want the internal to be happy, to manifest, and externally, I want to be happy. However, it is the other, it's just like it doesn't gel together. Why would I want internal to be not happy and manifest into the world as not happy?
Okay, your question has got two different parts to it. The first part is, why do I experience happiness and why do I experience sorrow in life? Why don't I experience only happiness or joy? That is your first fundamental question. The answer to that is, all human beings, all, whether you are resident, you're an ordinary person, you will experience both joy and sorrow in life.
Yes.
There's not a single human being on earth who will experience only joy, 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 joy. Every day, get up in the morning, joy. Every day, evenings.
Yes.
It doesn't happen. Human birth means it is a mixture of joy and sorrow. Okay, so that is the first question, and that's the first answer. Now, second question is, why don't I enjoy, or what happens to me if I want to enjoy only joy? The answer to that is, if I want to enjoy only happiness, then I should know my nature as happiness. The moment I know my nature as happiness, what will happen is, the experience of sorrow which I have in my waking state will not disturb me. If I have the knowledge that I am of the nature of Atma. See, all our study in these classes, in these sessions, are taking me from my physical body to the spiritual essence. As the body, I will never have full joy at any time. Never. Because the body will die. The body will have disease. The body will go through problems. The mind also will go through problems. And why is this? Because mind is a result of the previous actions which are now coming as a result. That is what is called as the causal body, Karana Sharira. Causal body is that full, the full bank account where all the future births are lying. All my future births are lying in that Karana Shariram, causal body. That causal body, nobody can take it out like that. The only way I can drop this identification with the causal body and with this subtle body, which is the mind, is by taking my attention towards that Atma, my real nature. So, what should be my goal then? To enjoy, your question was, how do I enjoy all the time? Why don't I enjoy happiness all the time? I will come to enjoy happiness in life all the time when I know my Swarupam, my nature, my intrinsic nature is happiness. The reason I start experiencing the sorrow or joy is because I start identifying with the mind. This is the secret. This is the secret of knowledge. What is the secret? Stop identifying with your mind as real. It is there. It is making tantrums every day for me, but it is not real. It is not me. Let it happen. So many minds are there. So many people I can see. They're all having the same type of experiences. They are also experiencing their own mind. It is, but my focus should shift from the mind to the Atma. Remind yourself again and again, I am the Atma, I am the Atma, I am the Atma, and enjoy your life of freedom from the mind, freedom from the body. As Atma, you are ever free. As the body and mind, you are never free. Remember this sentence. As the Atma, I am ever free. Ever free. I was never attached to this body and mind at any time. That is the knowledge which I am trying to pick up. If I'm able to pick up and hold on to that knowledge as the truth, as the ultimate truth, this knowledgeable person is free from sorrow. You can also be free from sorrow. That is what the Upanishads are trying to give us that promise. Continue the study, continue listening. You will, your question about is all related to the mind. That question regarding the mind will dissolve the moment you are very clear, I am Atma, finished. One day you will come back and say, I have no questions. My questions are all dissolved. They are not solved, but dissolved. Where do they get dissolved? In the Atma. The moment you say, I am the Atma, you have no more questions because this whole waking world is dissolved in that Atma only. It is my experience. You see, that is what Shankaracharya is saying, that what you call as the waker is nothing but Atma. Same waker has to correct himself and say, I am not the waker, Jacqueline, go. I am the consciousness, Jacqueline. Jacqueline is a name given to the body for doing some transactions, for earning money, for doing transactions in the world. But the same Jacqueline has to realize, I am the consciousness, Jacqueline. And the moment you realize I am the consciousness, Jacqueline, the entire fruit of listening to the scriptures has come to you. That's all. And then what happens? You go through the life, okay, fine, as long as the body is being experienced, you go through the ups and downs, and then you won't take it as, you will take it as a mithya experience, appearance. It is appearing, it will disappear. In the night, it will disappear or not. Whatever I'm experiencing as sorrow, I also have a condition of the mind in which the sorrow is dissolved. So what Shankaracharya says is keep on looking at the condition of where the sorrow is dissolved and you are there. That is what you should hold on to as your Swarupam. Swarupam means as my real nature. Okay? Good question, Jacqueline.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wait, one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, appreciate. Yes, yes, as an Atma, nothing is ever free and infinite. On another note, the rationale of manifestation and don't talk about non-manifestation, okay?
Yeah.
Manifestation, it happens because on the waker time, it happened, okay? So I'm trying to say it in another way that internally, you have to look for everything within yourself, you will find an answer.
Correct.
The self itself is equal to the Atma, is equal to the pure consciousness.
Yeah.
However, it is happening that I read somewhere, that's why I'm asking for a bit of understanding, or maybe it's not correct for the way that I understand. So it's saying that, yes, everything is within, you know, and it will be, if you think about no good, and it will project as no good. If you think about good, it will project as good. So my question is, of course, my internal, within myself, I want to think of good. However, when it manifests, it is manifest as no good. So how would this relate? I mean, to me, it's within myself. Then as a waker, it manifests, and therefore, as a mind, I will see that. You know, how would you explain this in the scripture manner?
Okay, good. See, what you should understand is that the world is not only consisting of me, but it is consisting of so many human beings and so many people who are also sharing the same world at the same time. Okay, so what I am experiencing is, I may want, see, that is where raga and dvesha comes. I may want, raga means I want only good things to happen to me. I want to see only good things. Dvesha means I don't want to see bad things. I don't want to experience anything outside which is bad. It is not possible because it is your liking. It is your liking and disliking. Your liking and disliking is not the world. The world is a common platform where all the jivas are there and we are all interconnected. We are all interconnected. You are connected to me. I'm connected to somebody else. The whole world is interconnected as one principle, one consciousness principle appearing as this whole manifest variable world. Now, you see, when you say I want to see only good, see, it is not possible because the world outside is a result of the karana prapancha. Prapancha means it is a causal world which is now expressing itself in this way. Why there are so many deaths? I don't want to see death at all. I can't. You see, your like and dislike, it does not decide the way the world is created. You may say, why have anything which is bad? Why have that? But that is not the way the world is created. World is created with certain laws. That laws govern the world. So your question, your seeking of only good things outside in the world is not correct. What you can seek is, I can remain within myself as Atma. That is left to you. Then you're not getting connected with the world and the sense organs and the prapancha and the mind. If you're able to disassociate with the mind, that is available. That is why all the yogis, they are able to remain within themselves and just be in the blissful state. There are many scriptures who say that a yogi who has gone through the Ashtanga Yoga, he has gone into Samadhi, he is able to remain blissful. So that depends on you, on your control of your mind. You can control your mind, but you cannot control the total mind and the total world. Is it clear?
Oh, yes, 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 appreciate. Yeah. Maybe next week I have another question. Okay, appreciate.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Thank you. Raghu, you have been waiting a long time. Can you go ahead?
Yeah, sir. I'm just beautifully explained, sir. Just regarding the dream state, Sapna Avastha, where our mind is dissolved into the Hiranyagarbha. And you told I heard that that cumulative of the Hiranyagarbha is also somewhere. It may not be a physical entity, but exist as a whole.
Yeah, it is a subtle sphere.
Yeah, my question is regarding the state when we wake up from the Swapna Avastha. Just when we try to recollect, because the dream state, we only create the dream world with our intelligence. But when it get dissolved into the Hiranyagarbha, maybe we may not be able to recollect the total things that is happening inside. But some part towards the end, sometimes we may recollect, and sometimes we get carried away for certain times in that avastha. So is there any technical term to this, sir, or it's just um, um,
Yes. Okay, good question. See, in Mandukya Upanishad, yeah, in
IM and NREM, where rapid eye movement and non-rapid eye movement, that's what
Yeah.
they say.
Okay.
So that state,
Yes. Okay, your question is very valid, and it is explained in Mandukya Upanishad in the 7th mantra of Mandukya Upanishad. See, the state, what you are calling as a mixture of waking and waking come dream, where you are aware that a part of the dream is still there, but you are aware of the dream. So it is a mixture of waking and dream together, and that is what is called as it is a joint waking come dream. It is something like a dream, but it is a wakeful dream. So this is Ubhaya Avastha, where it is a joint experience. It is also mentioned in the scriptures that this is also a condition of the mind. Dream is a condition where only the mind is being watched by the Sakshi. The Sakshi or the Atma, which is the witness even in the waking state. See, the witness consciousness does not change its nature in the 3 avasthas, 4 avasthas, 5 avasthas, coma state. That is another state. Coma state is where somebody is absolutely unconscious. Zero. He has got no, you know what is coma state. So similar state these are all only the conditions of the mind. So in the dream state, it is your vasanas, your impressions are projected by you. And the light in which you see the dream is the light of Atma. The light in which you see the world outside in the waking is also the same light of Atma. That is why they give the dream example in Swayam Jyoti Brahmana in Brihadanayaka Upanishad. This dream example is taken up to reveal Atma, the light of Atma. So, to answer your question about the dream state, whether it exists and how it exists, and whether there is another state in which also like this mixture of the dream come waking, where you are lying on the bed at the same time you realize there is a dream. It is a mixture of both waking and dream. It is possible. This is also a condition of the mind. Only thing is, in all these conditions of the mind, you should remember one point. If you remember that point, you have understood Vedanta. What is that point? In all the 3 avasthas, whether it is waking, whether it is dream, whether it is sleep, I, the consciousness, I, the Turiyam consciousness or Atma, am nirvikara. I am changeless. The world is changingly changeless. Continuous change is happening. Your mind is changing, the world is changing, the objects in the world are changing. That is also changing, but it is continuously changing. In this continuously changing world, there is a continuously changeless Atma. Drop your identification with this changing world, changing mind, waking dream sleep, waking dream sleep. Every day it is happening throughout your life. But you are not aware that there is something else which you are also experiencing, and that is the changeless self. The light in which these changes are being seen is the ultimate light of Atma. Always remember that light and be free. Shankaracharya beautifully says this. Keep remembering there is only one self-evident, self-shining Atma in the entire cosmos. There is no second consciousness. There's only one consciousness. And you are that consciousness. Shift the identification from the physical body, which is the waker, from the subtle body, which is the dreamer, from the causal body, which is the sleeper. In all this, there is an invariable, changeless light of consciousness. In the same waking state, you tell yourself, I am the Atma, the consciousness principle. Learn to say that even in the dream state, even in the sleep state, I am the Atma, I am the Atma, I am the Atma. This is the way to hold on to the ultimate truth. Okay?
Well said. Well said. That means the purity in the Atma state, it depends on your intellect when you are saying that I am Atma. And you can also try to prolong that dream state or whatever state you are telling that through your intellect.
Oh, yes. You can prolong that pure state of consciousness. You can prolong it. Throughout your life, you can hold on to it, hold on to it, hold on to it. The other states are coming and going. And you don't have much control on the other states. I'm telling you, even the dream state, you don't have any control. What dream you're going to see tomorrow or day after tomorrow, it is there. In unmanifest condition, in potential condition, it is there. But you don't know what you'll see. That is why it is like even tomorrow. In the waking state, what are the experiences you're going to have? You have no control. Really you have no control. You may experience good, you may experience bad, you may experience mixed. Same thing can happen. You can experience good, bad, even in the dream. And this is an oscillating phenomena. Waking dream, waking dream. In between is the sleep. Sleep is just a rest.
So one last question. Are these states pre-decided in the sense whatever I am going to be? That is pre-decided?
They are pre-decided. The moment you see, there are two answers to this question. The first answer is they are pre-decided if you are able to say I am Atma. Okay? Suppose you say I am the Atma, this dream will come, waking will come, sleep will come. It is a pre-decided. It is going to go through that motion body. This physical body will go through this waking, dream, and sleep. No doubt about whether you like it or not. It is a law of nature. It is a law of this cosmos. And what it will experience is also as per the law of cosmos. And what is the law of cosmos? The law of karma. The law of karma decides your experiences of joy and sorrow. Ultimately, that is what is the day. How was your day today? Was it good? What is very bad, or was it a mixture? 99% of the people, we will say it is a mixture. So when you look at it from the Atma point of view, you say everything is given to me. I just have to go through it. I have no control over it. Okay, this is from the Atma end. But when you are working in the world, in the waking state, you are working in your office, you are working in the society, you are working in the family. In the waking state, as a jiva, don't apply this principle of everything is decided. Keep that at the back of your mind. When you are working with your hand and feet, you work with the principle, I will do my best. I have, to whatever extent I have, whatever control I have, I will do my best and I will work to the best of my ability in a given situation. So when you face the world, go with your purushartha. I have a willpower, I will do my best in the given situation.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good. Bharat is saying taking Brahman as not changing, non-insentient, non-limited is a similar negation to Mandukya Mantra 7. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Bharat, it's very similar. You should bring in the topic of, I hope you have listened in the first portion of my talk today. I said that very important portion of Mandukya, which many people miss, is that the waker himself is the Turiya Atma. The dreamer himself is the Turiya Atma. The sleeper himself is the Turiya Atma. Turiya is not outside the waker, dreamer, and the sleeper. It is in and through this, the Turiyam is there.
Yes, Shakaji, that was very clear. You know, it's this definition of Brahman, which Taittriya Upanishad gives, that total negation leaves a positive definition on which even Artha, Kama, and Dharma, the three states, the three bodies, the five koshas, are experienced, their appearances. It's just that same underlying reality of Satyam Jnanam Anantam and Turiya as indicated in Mandukya Upanishad.
Perfect. That's how you have to relate. Turiyam of Mandukya is the Satyam Jnanam Anantam of Taittriya Upanishad.
Precisely. And I just wanted to say that I really liked the answers that you gave today. I thought they were very, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, you see, this is the entire Upanishadic learning is a gradual learning for the human intellect. As you learn more and more, the more clarity comes to your mind, and the more you're able to accept the Upanishad as the real truth.
The thing is that just like in a dream, the dream doesn't have to trouble you, even though it's experienced. Just like that, this so-called waking reality, you can get by it, do whatever you need to do what's in front of your nose. But in the meantime, it's that understanding that stabilizes all the experiences that one has.
That's correct. This Atma is the ultimate stabilizing factor in life.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good. Anybody else? So I will continue the Taittriya Bhashyam for the next 5 or 10 sessions and then re-ask this question again after 8-10 sessions, whether you like to stop and go or continue the Bhashyam. the commentary of Shankaracharya. And as you study more and more of these verses, you will find more clarity coming into the knowledge of Atma. Okay? Thank you. Good night. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Sagarji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.